In this video, I'll be showing you one simple creative life hack so that you can never and will never run out of ideas for your films, photos, or any other art form that you might be doing. Maybe. Hopefully. Kinda. Hey, what's up? It's your favorite quarantine anime protagonist, Nicholas here, back at it again with another video, and I'm gonna be honest. This one I'm pretty excited to share to you, because I personally haven't run into this idea on the internet yet, and it seems like everybody that I've shared this to, especially in my art, photo, and film circles, seem to absolutely love it, so I hope that you will too. You ever get that feeling where you have the strong urge to create a film, or do a photo shoot, or create some other form of art like a drawing or a painting or a song, but you just feel creatively bankrupt? Simply put, it sucks to feel like you've run out of ideas. You suddenly begin to question your own creativity, or you end up potatoing around to the point where you beat yourself up for not being productive. Or maybe that's just me. But you know what I mean, it sucks, it's not a good feeling. So, here's a little something to jog your mind a bit. This is a trick, or well, a little something that you can practice that I came up with when I was self-critiquing my own photography work. I came up with this when I was at a low point in my photography. I felt like I wasn't putting out the best work. I felt like I was out of things to do, and I felt like my audience was as tired of what I was putting out as I was. So, to understand my own creative style and creative process in a reverse engineered kind of way, I started scrolling through my Instagram feed and picking out my favorite photos and trying to review what are the key elements in these individual images that make this work stand out from the rest of my work. So I started breaking down my photos down to their bare bones elements, which basically meant that I tried to describe my photos and my work in the simplest ways that I could, with the least amount of words possible, and with an almost insulting degree of simplicity and brevity. Now, here's this image as an example, which is a sample image from one of my most recent shoots. Now, as I said, this is more recent, so this wasn't during my dark period of trying to review my photos and being in a dry spell, but this photo, for example, could literally go from a longer, more artistic description of a woman dressed in red being engulfed by the dark green leaves of the forest, to literally going, girl, red forest. That's it. And I know that sounds insultingly simplistic. That amount of ridiculous simplicity and brevity is part of the core of this technique. Break down your work, or other people's work, in this fashion, so that by doing so, you can determine which are the key elements of the images by simply reducing them to their simplest form. Which parts matter the most? My personal suggestion is having at least 3 keywords to describe each image with a maximum of 7. They can literally be any kind of word. Now, I don't mean to be an English teacher right now, but noun, verb, adverb, adjective, whatever. Whatever works for you, whatever floats your boat, whatever helps you describe these photos, these images, these films, these drawings, these paintings, whatever kind of art form you're trying to do, whatever helps you describe them in the simplest, bare bones ways possible to determine what's essential, do that. Use those words, and that will help you out massively. More so than you probably expect. The essence of the idea of this trick is that once you have your keywords set, you can build up a new idea from those exact same keywords that you used to describe a previous project or somebody else's work, by virtue of reinterpretation. So now, girl, forest, red could mean something different. Maybe you still shoot with a female model, because that's part of the keywords that we used. But instead of having her dress red, why not change the color of the leaves in your edit to be red instead? Now you can match her dress with the leaves, or you could change the color of the dress of your model and have them wear something like white or green and reverse those colors. It's completely up to you, but you get the point. You can reinterpret something else into something new. But that's only the beginning. You can completely change the entire idea of your shoot or your project from here on out. And just like that, by throwing new things in with your reinterpretation of old things and maybe redacting some other things, you have a completely new and different idea from what you started off with. go nuts. You can mix as many keywords as you like. I said 3 to 7. You can completely throw that out of the window and use 20 if you really want to. And from there, you can just play it by ear. You can change or keep as many of the original or old ideas as much as you like. One thing you should note though is to make sure that you are not ripping off anybody else that you might have based this new work that you're making on. And unless you're doing this for an intentional artistic purpose, make sure that you are not ripping your own work off. That being said though, you can literally change artistic mediums. Your description of somebody else's photo could be reinterpreted into your project as a film, or a song, or a music video, or hell, even a painting, a drawing, or dance. But that's just part 1. That's just the description of the basis of the principle behind this creative art life hack. Part 2 begins here, and so does the fun. So you might be asking, whatever shall we need for fun? Master Anakin, whatever shall we do? Whatever that youngling says before Anakin slashes and unalives all of them. Oh, I'm sorry. Back to the video. So, what are we actually gonna need to start this fun? No, we're not gonna need to slash younglings. We're gonna need our favorite sheet of paper, or I guess a notebook in my case, your favorite pen. I don't have my favorite pen in here, but you get the point. And, well, your favorite hat. Now let's crack on with the fun. So take a bunch of your keywords from examining your work or other people's work, be that films, photos, drawings, paintings, dance, music, literally anything, and then write those keywords separately on that singular sheet of paper, and then cut them up into individual strips, and you already know where I'm going with this. Get your favorite hat, put those keywords and individual strips in your favorite hat, mix them up, pick a couple of pieces, 3 to 7, without looking, and then with those keywords, bam, you have your new project. Figure it out. But no, seriously, figure it out. Those keywords will inform, or at least try to challenge you and inspire you to create a brand new idea. Because now, you're not just basing it off of somebody else's work or your description of your own work, now it's a random combination of different keywords, and now you're forced to think of something completely and absolutely new. Sometimes it might not work. You might not like it, and that's fine. Throw them back in, mix, and then pick again. Now, let me clarify. This was just my fun little example of showing you how to do this. You don't actually need a hat, your favorite notebook, or a bunch of pens in order to do this, nor do you actually need to cut up a bunch of individual strips, which might end up being 100 or hundreds of different little keywords. You shouldn't waste your time and energy doing this unless you actually want to do it this way, because I'll be honest, it's kind of cute. You can just do all of these word randomizing techniques in your head. Or if you want, you could use an Excel spreadsheet and figure that out. Or you can use a random word generator or a randomizer online or as a separate program. It really just depends on what floats your boat, but the idea is to randomize a bunch of words, put them together, and try to come up with an idea from there. But like I said, could be terrible, could go wrong. Do it all over again until something just clicks, and then there you go. There's your new project. You can categorize them if that's the way that works for you. Think of a color, a pose, a shape, a setting, be that a location, a time of day, or a kind of weather. A prop, an article of clothing, a single line of dialogue for your film project, a genre of film, an emotion, maybe even a specific camera move or angle or composition technique that you want to incorporate in your work or force yourself to incorporate into your work to just challenge yourself. For music or dance, it could be a genre, it could be a mood, it could be a time signature even. For painting and drawing, it could be a specific art style or a specific art material that you want to use, or restrict yourself to a specific color scheme. Really, there's a broad spectrum of what you can do in order to challenge yourself and stretch yourself as a creative by using random keywords, or just thinking of keywords that you might be able to mix up into a new actual formulated idea. The simplest way to do this is to just try and quickly think for a few seconds, not even for a minute, about random keywords that you might be able to mishmash together into a new idea. And I know, it sounds odd, it sounds too simple, but maybe it's because it arguably is. To be fair, I did just make this up for myself when I was at a low point in my artistic journey, but The thing is, it's worked out for me really, really well, especially in a pinch, so maybe it could work for you. Here's an example. 3 keywords: girl, brown, memory. For this one, I'm not actually thinking photo, I'm thinking film. If I haven't made it clear enough, you can literally use this technique on any kind of brainstorming thing that you need for any art field. So here's a little extra bonus for all of you that do more than one art medium. The keywords that you might pick out from your hat or your brain or whatever might not work out for the specific art field that you were thinking of. But if again you do more than one, it might be better suited and more applicable for another one of the art fields that you do. Don't restrict yourself into thinking that, oh, it only applies to photography, or oh, it only applies to film. No, it can apply to photography or film or music or literally anything else that you might have in mind. It's just up to how open-minded and creative you are, to how much and how far you can and you're willing to explore this technique. In my case, when I said girl, brown, and memory, I literally could have gone a different route. Instead of saying that I wanted to do a film, I could have chosen to do a song about a girl who dresses in brown, earthy tones, who has memory loss, and how that singer, how that someone, I guess in my case me, how I love that girl anyway, despite the fact that they have bad memory, despite the fact that they might even be forgetting the singer's name. And how I could write something like, I love you even if you forget my name, or I will remember you even if you never will remember me, or something like that. Now that's just something I came up with on the spot right now, like I didn't script that. It sounds really cheesy, but basically, yeah, you could do something like that. But as for me, I said that I felt like I wanted to do a film, and what I was thinking from just those 3 keywords is, again, a girl who loves to dress in brown, and the overall aesthetic of the film being like a brown earthy tone, almost like a flashback kind of look. And then it's about this girl who loves capturing her memories with a vintage silver camera, like an analog AE1 or a Pentax K1000 or something like that. And she likes to capture her memories through that, and it's like a voiceover, or even just no voiceover with just piano music or something really serene like that, with tiny vignettes of the memories that she captures. I am literally speaking off the top of my head. I didn't script this. I hope I'm making sense. Now I realize that I basically just described a version of myself that loves brown. But anyway, you get the point. You have the bare minimum of an idea with the bare bones descriptions that you have, and then you build it up from there. And then you keep building and building, and then eventually you build the ever-loving hell out of it, and then bam, you have a new project idea. Bingo, fettuccine alfredo. Why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep doing this? Okay, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna try to turn the example that I used earlier on in this video into either a photo shoot, a film, or a song. Or maybe all 3. If you don't remember what those keywords were, it was girl, memory, and brown. I'm gonna try to figure it out. I don't know how long this will take, so I'm just gonna try to make it up as I go. Anyway, I hope you found this video as useful as it was entertaining. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing. My name is Nicholas. Go leave a like, follow me on Instagram @SentientPoison and @NicholasLolin. That's it from me for now. Cheers.